We've assembled here the project team for the Atlantis ICACE project. I'm the European project coordinator. The American project coordinator can't be seen at the moment, but is perhaps available later on. The project really looks at exchanging students and staff, but mainly students between Europe and America. The Americans have to go to Europe, and they have the choice of going either to Portugal or Germany or to England. And of course the Europeans all have to go to America. The aim of the project is really to look at mobility and ambient computing and any related discipline that wishes to be involved. So it could be the psychological aspects as well as the computing and the engineering aspects, business aspects. Any students in those related domains are more than welcome to participate in the exchange. We sent a number of students to San Diego, where Yusuf works, and also to Little Rock in Arkansas, where Yushkin works. And the students have had a really good experience. And we can put you in touch if you'd like to get any further information with those students, because they're really buzzing having come back.
My name is Joshkin Barak. I am a professor in computer science department at the University of Arkansas. So far, we have sent 4 students to Fern University at Hagen to work with Professor Kramer, and the experience that we achieved through these students is outstanding, extraordinary. They have been talking about what they have gained in terms of skills as well as cultural aspects of it, and also recently we have received 3 students already completed a term from England, Sunderland University. They also had a marvelous time working in the lab. They have returned, and now we are getting one more. I think he's about to receive. The knowledge that they have gained is something that is beyond the scope of the typical textbook, because the students, for instance, came from Germany. They have been talking about about the skills they have learned through the staffs that Professor Kramer had. Also, how they opened their thinking process, widen their view, and increasing their ability to perform. So it is the most successful experience as far as I'm concerned, based on the information and data that I have collected. And I think this is not one-time opportunity, this is for long-lasting opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Bernd Kramer. I'm a professor in computer science at Fernuniversität in Hagen, the only German language distance teaching university in Europe. And I want to say I was quite hesitant in the beginning when we planned that project whether I would find enough students for this mobility program, because our students are largely working professionals. In the hindsight, I must confess that our students were the best in terms of applying for foreign studies. So we have already sent 7 students to the US. 1 is already in the waiting line, and we have even more students to go without financial support. So from our side, this looks quite successful. We have received American students from Arkansas, from San Diego, and we had a good experience with these students. And I think the cultural experience the students made is in the spirit of that program.
I'm Yusuf Öztürk. I'm a professor of electrical and computer engineering at San Diego State University. So far, we received probably the largest number of students from Europe. It's a prime destination. We received several students from University of Hagen and University of Sunderland. We're currently processing 2 students from University of Algarve in Portugal. In return, we were able to send 3 students last year to University of Hagen and University of Algarve, and we're processing more students to send to Sunderland in the spring semester. So for both the incoming students and outgoing students, this has been a remarkable experience. For the incoming students, they had an opportunity to not only learn about the culture of America, but also the engineering culture and the education culture. Similarly, the students who went to Algarve in the summer had some amazing experience, have seen things that will never happen in the United States, perhaps in the current days, such as a total stranger giving them a ride to an airport at 4 o'clock. So the overall, I think the cultural dimension of this project has been very successful. In our project, it was an eye-opener, and the engineering aspects of it definitely was beneficial to both students coming from Europe and students traveling to Europe. So overall, it has been a great pleasure to be part of this team.
I think one of the big benefits is that the students really stand out as having gone abroad and studied abroad. And for those that are looking for a job, particularly for the first time, it really is something which makes you different from everybody else. So if you're interested, please contact any of the people around here, myself, Chris Bauman from Sunderland as the European lead for any European queries, and Professor Emre Orhan from Troy Montgomery for any American queries.